motorcycles on the road.
Yes, and unfortunately there are accidents that happen, and we have someone joining us with some advice. Rick Warren, attorney from Friedman, Domiano, and Smith. Thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
So we are talking about motorcycles. That's what we're going to focus on today. Do you want to tell us how many motorcycle accidents happen per year?
Well, I don't know the overall statistics. I know that in Ohio last year, there were over 3,800 reported motor vehicle collisions involving motorcycles.
Okay.
According to the Ohio Department of Public Safety. Now, that makes up only a small fraction of overall accidents just by sheer numbers of automobiles on the road. But those accidents proportionally are much more likely to produce injury and fatalities just because of the nature of being in a motorcycle.
Absolutely.
So does litigating motorcycle accidents differ from auto?
Well, you know, we're all bound by the same rules of the road, so those laws all apply equally to cars and motorcycles. And in litigation, the rules that govern the courts, rules of procedure, rules of evidence, those are the same for everyone. And when we are involved in motor vehicle accidents, we see a broad spectrum of injuries, from very minor injuries, strains and sprains, to more serious injuries, including broken bones, torn muscles, head trauma, and even fatalities. The difference with motorcycles is that we almost exclusively see injuries on that far end of the spectrum, the more serious injuries, because obviously they don't have the protections that automobile drivers have in being encased in an automobile and airbags and seatbelts and those. So when an accident occurs, you're much more likely to be seriously injured.
Rick, okay, my cousins are huge motorcycle lovers.
A lot of you probably have motorcycles that are watching.
And they're fun, you know? I mean, but do you have any advice for people that are either motorcycle riders or us as regular car drivers? Do you have any tips for avoiding these accidents?
It's not rocket science, and it's the same advice we've probably been getting since driver's ed, and that's pay attention to the road and share the road.
Right.
You know, everybody's guilty of it. We've all been in traffic and have been frustrated or even angry. We want all their vehicles to disappear so we can get to where we're going. But we have to just take a deep breath and remember, you know, nothing's more important than your health and safety and the health and safety of the people around you. So be aware of what's going on. And also, I will throw this out there. I don't want to sound like a public service announcement.
No, please.
But, you know, mobile phones in cars are a huge distraction today.
I'm glad you're saying it because I still believe it's a problem.
It's a huge problem, and we see accidents over accidents involving someone that just takes their eye off the road for what they think is a second.
That can be it.
And that's all you need. The car in front of you slows down dramatically for some reason, or you drift slightly to your right and you hit the car next to you. But now replace that car that you hit with a motorcycle, and suddenly what might have been a minor impact, a bump, is suddenly something very serious because you're sending someone off his or her bike onto the pavement.
Right.
So since we're focusing on motorcycles, would you have any advice to riders as far as protecting themselves?
Well, obviously the same advice about paying attention on the road applies to everybody. I think most riders are a little more sensitive to that because they realize the danger they're in the event that they're in an accident. But one area I also like to talk to people about is being prepared in the case you are in an accident, and that's insurance. Ohio only requires a minimum amount of insurance for both riders and drivers. It's only $25,000. But if you are involved in a serious accident, $25,000 goes very quickly. And one area of insurance I think is particularly valuable to motorcyclists is underinsured, uninsured motorist coverage. Now, this is a type of coverage that you purchase for yourself from your own policy. That will come into play and step up to protect you in the event you are injured by a driver who has no insurance or very low insurance amounts. And it's particularly valuable to motorcycle operators because if they are in an accident, very likely their injuries are going to be very expensive.
Okay. So. Absolutely. Thank you, Rick. And hopefully this is a little reminder for everybody to pay attention extra close on the roads. Again, this is Friedman, Domiano, and Smith. And you can call 216-621-0070 for more information.
A serious topic, but I'm so glad we discussed all this today.
Well, thank you for having me here.
Thank you.